This is my 1990 Trek 1000. It's got STI shifters on there. They're Sora. I upgraded this bike a long time ago from down tube shifters to these. But then I picked up a pair of RSX shifters, which are, I think, better quality than the Sora. So what I'm going to do is remove the Sora shifters and install these. And I'm going to go ahead and video the whole process of doing that. Now, the first thing I need to do is remove the old handlebar tape. So let's go ahead and get started doing that. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut all the old cables. I'm going to be replacing all the cables anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut them so I can remove the shifters. Now I should be able to go ahead and remove the shifters. On these ones, there's a little Allen head bolt in here, 5mm, and I'll go ahead and loosen this. And then I should be able to slide this off. Got it loose enough. Yeah. There. And then I go ahead and just pull these cables out. And the same thing on this one. I'll go ahead and loosen this 5mm bolt in there. Where is it? There we go. Loosen this. Should be able to slide this off. Pull these cables out. Then slide this off. There. Then go ahead and remove the tape from the brake cables here. I'll be redoing this. Okay, time to mount the shifters. There's definitely a left and a right. The left one is going to have the brake, actually it's the shifter little opening going to the inside, and the same with the right one is going to have them go to the inside. So it's pretty easy to tell which one is which. So I'm just going to go ahead and slide it on here. Hopefully the bracket's loose enough. Loosen up a little bit. Just a little bit more. Slide it up into place. Get it roughly positioned. I'm going to go ahead and then just tighten this down just a little bit here. But not all the way yet, because I want to be able to move it. And then to position the shifter, what you want to be able to do is have a straight edge go under the flat part of the handlebar here, and then come down and line up with the bottom of the brake lever there. So you just kind of get that into place there. Make sure it's straight. Go forward and then tighten it down. Okay, same thing with this other side here. I'm going to go ahead and slide the shift lever onto the handlebar, get it up into place. Get approximately where I want it, and then I'm going to go ahead and then tighten the little clamp down roughly, not all the way. Now I'm going to get my straight edge here, line it up with the flat part of the bottom of the handlebar. Let me loosen this just a little bit. And then get the bottom of the brake lever just touching the straight edge there, and then tighten it down a little bit. Make sure it's pointing straight forward. And again, this is just a general rule of thumb. You move it to your own personal preference, but this is a good starting spot. And then go ahead and tighten it down. Then at this point, you can go ahead and compare the two levers to make sure that they're where you roughly even with each other and pointing straight forward, and adjust them how you want. Okay, go ahead and hook up the front brake first. Remove this little bit of cable fragment from the brake down here, and they want to pull back the boot here on the shifter. Okay, inside here there's a little cable stop in here, so I'm going to run the cable through there. Up. And then it should come out through the back like this. Then run this brake cable in through the cable housing there and push it through. Okay, and then pull it all the way through. And get it all seated in that little cable stop in there. Run the brake cable down through the barrel adjuster, down through the little clamp here. This out front here like this. Good. And then while I'm out it, while this is all loose, I'm going to go ahead and take this barrel adjuster and close this all the way. I'm going to go ahead and take this barrel adjuster and loosen it by 4 full turns. About. Tighten these brakes tight against the rim. Tighten the little clamp for the cable. Now if I go ahead and tighten this barrel adjuster down, that'll release the brakes away from the rim. Now if I go ahead and test this, that looks like it works pretty well. Yeah, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead, tighten this down all the way. Then I want to go ahead and get this cable housing taped into place. Pull off a piece about 8-10 inches long here. And I want to go ahead and tape it so it's tight inside this little curve here. And there's a little channel down here that the cable housing fits into, so I'll make sure that's right in there. Now just go ahead and cut the cable off, maybe about inch and a half down below the brake. Use good cable cutters. These are Park Tool. You get a nice clean cut that way. And put a little crimp ending on there. Crimp that onto the end of the cable so it doesn't fray. And done with that. Start off by running a cable in through the cable stop and out through the back of the brake. Let me see here. There we go. I think I got it. There we go. Now pull the boot back here. So there's the end of the cable there. Okay, bring the cable housing over through here. Put the cable in through the cable housing there and push it through. And what comes out through the back end, I can just go ahead and pull it from there. Make sure this is all nice and seated in there. Okay. Loosen this, remove the fragment of old cable out of there. Take the barrel adjuster, tighten this all the way down. Then loosen it for 4 full turns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Run the cable through here, down through the clamp and the brake. Seat that in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull those tight against the rim, pull the cable tight in there. Tighten the little cable clamp down. Then tighten this back down, which should loosen the brakes away from the rim. Then test the brake. Cut the cable about an inch, inch and a half down below the brake. Put a crimp end on. Clamp it down. Then I'll tape the brake housing down into place against the handlebar. Get that fitted down in that little channel there. Okay, so now I want to start going ahead and working on the shifters, on the shifter cables. And so first I want to do is go ahead and put this down. So if I do like this, it's pulling the thing back, and I'll go ahead and release that all the way. There's a little hole over here where the cable goes in, and I'll push that through. There we go. And I can go ahead and get the cable through. I'm going to go ahead and replace this little ferrule. Put a brand new ferrule like right on there. Slide the cable in, and then push it through. And it comes, pull it all the way through. And then get this all released there. Okay, go ahead and remove this old fragment of cable from the front derailleur here. And loosen that. Pull this out. Then run the new cable through the little guide on the bottom of the bottom bracket here. Put it up. Through the little clamp here. That's pretty good for now. I may adjust it a little bit later. Okay, I'll go ahead and cut this cable about inch and a half above the derailleur here. Slide like a little crimp end on. Crimp that into place. And done with that for now, though I may tweak the adjusting on that just a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and run this shift cable. Again, pull this out, slide the cable in through there, into the housing, then push it through. Okay, I need to remove the leftover fragment of cable from the rear derailleur here. Pull that out. Then run the new cable down through the guide under the bottom bracket. Through here, pull it through, run this through, and then put it through the clamp here. Okay, go ahead and screw this barrel adjuster in all the way, and then just unscrew it about a turn or two. Let me see, get this up in here, and then close this down. Okay, I'm going to pull this cable tight here, and I have the chain onto the small ring. And I'm just going to tighten this a little bit at this moment. And I want to make sure that the shifter is shifted towards the smallest cog, which it is. So go ahead and check this, and then tighten this. Okay, now I want to go ahead and test the shifting here. So I'll go ahead and turn this, shift it over one notch, and it didn't shift up. I'll shift it one more too. Okay, shift it down. Okay, I'm going to loosen this just a little bit. A couple notches. One click. Nope, didn't go up, so I'm going to go ahead and loosen this. A couple more clicks. One click. One click. One click. One click. One click. One click. Click down. Click down. Click down, click down, click down, click down, click up, click up. I'm going to loosen this just one more notch, see how that goes. Click down, click up, click up, click up, click down, click down, click down, click up, click up. Okay, that seems to be shifting pretty well. So let's go ahead and tighten this all the way. Clamp that down. Trim this about an inch, inch and a half from the derailleur. Put a little crimp end on. There, that's all done. Here it is, all finished. I wrapped the handlebars with Bontrager tape and got everything all nice and cleaned up, and I think I'm gonna like this. I can't wait for spring. Take this thing out for a ride. I may throw it on my stationary trainer and play with it and just see how I like it, but that's how you do it. Excellent.